How do you start an asphalt repair and paving company? Hi, my name is Nate Jones, and this is How To Business, where I tell you how to start businesses. And on this one, I'm going to tell you how you can make $324,000 a year patching asphalt and paving asphalt. And I'll break it down here in a second. But if you get value out of this video, please like and subscribe, and go check out some of my other videos on how to start certain businesses and which businesses you should start and which ones you should avoid. So let's hop right into this. I'm going to tell you basically 5 things that you need to do before you start this business to make sure that you're going to be successful in this business. The first thing is, number 1, know your money, know your personal financial situation. In this business, it is very equipment intensive. And when it comes to equipment costs money. In this business, to get started, a bare minimum, you'll need about $50,000 to $100,000 worth of equipment. You're going to need rollers, you're going to need pavers, you're going to need the thing that holds the asphalt, all these things in which you're going to need to do your job. And when I was doing research, it looked like about 50 to 100 grand is going to get you going at a bare minimum in this business. So you got to know, hey, am I going to have 100 grand sitting around? If not, you're going to have to finance some of this equipment. And I was looking at what would it require if you were to finance some of this equipment. For $100,000 worth of equipment, with 25% down, that would require $25,000. If you get a 5-year note on that 5-year loan, that's about $1,600 a month is what that equipment is going to cost you. So when you're looking at your cash flow, you got to know that, hey, $25,000 is going out, and I have about $1,600 coming out. Now in this business, if I'm throwing out $25,000, I'm starting this business, I would have about another $10,000 saved up in case something goes south that I need money devoted to this business. So I would probably have about $35,000 saved up. $25,000 is going to go to the equipment loan, and $10,000 is just going to be sitting back ready if something goes south. So number 2, what you need to do is you need to think about all the ways in which it won't work. So specifically for asphalt, you don't get jobs, right? You have the equipment, you know what you're doing, but you just don't get jobs. Why'd you not get jobs? You didn't have a sales strategy, you didn't have a marketing strategy, maybe you didn't reach out to general contractors. Set up these things before you start this business. You need to set up, hey, how am I going to get jobs? Am I going to have a steady flow? Do I need to be reaching out to other asphalt contractors to get small jobs? How am I going to find my work? Because you got to have work in this business to be able to make money. So you need to find out how you're going to get your jobs and have a strategy for that. If you fail to do that, you're going to have everything except for money coming in. And the most important thing about every business in which I review and which businesses that I own and operate is the sales side. A small business under 2 to 3 million in revenue should only be focused on their sales. Once you get your sales over 2 to 3 million, then you can start working on your operations. But at the beginning, you want to be focusing on those sales. So before you start this business, I promise, please get a sales strategy, and it'll help you out so much. Number 2, poor jobs. You do a poor job. That means you don't know what you're doing. Okay, and just because you didn't come from asphalt, or even if you did, you should know what you're doing. But if you didn't come from it, you can go get trained in this. You could probably shadow or work for another asphalt contractor for just a couple weeks to learn to what you're doing or something. But you need to learn how to do asphalt. I'm sure on YouTube and other places you can learn how to properly patch and pave for asphalt. Get on-site training somewhere. Maybe even pay a local paving contractor to teach you. I don't know, but you need to be creative if you're curious about this business, which you can make a lot of money in. And hang on in this video, I'm going to tell you how you can make $324,000 a year operating this business. The third thing is you have a breakdown of equipment and you don't know how to fix it. You need to know how to fix your equipment, or you need to know somebody in which you can call to fix your equipment. When equipment goes down, it's never at the perfect time, and it's never at the time in which you have plenty of time to work on it. It's when you're in the middle of a job. So you need to have an emergency plan, you need to have somebody that you know can help you, or you need to know everything about that machine in which you can fix. Because the biggest thing that hurt contractors is not getting that machine fixed. So make sure you know what you're doing when it comes to your equipment. Another thing is you can't find employees. As your contracting business grows, you're going to need more bodies. Eventually, just you, yourself, and that's it, is not going to be enough. You do a good big job, you're going to need employees. So you need to have a strategy of, hey, how can I find some guys that want to work for me for the day? What am I going to have to pay them? What do they expect? How can I get to know these people? Can I put out an ad and just say, hey, if I need you, I'll call you? You need to have a directory of people in which to call to get on some jobs. The third thing I would look at is I would do a demand and opportunity analysis. And what this means is is there a need for asphalt patching, repaving, and repair in my city, wherever you live, your town? Is there an opportunity? Are there too many asphalt contractors? Are they busy? Are they not busy? Are there any commercial properties that have asphalt? I know a lot of contractors that I work in my business, because I own an insurance agency, a lot of them do repaving jobs for local McDonald's or local shopping malls and stuff like that. Is there that out there that need repaving? Is there a residential need? Are there a lot of people that have kind of custom built houses out in the country that have a long drive of asphalt that they need repaved? So make sure that there's a need in there. Make sure that you're somewhat close to a city. When you're close to a city, there's going to be more opportunities, and there's not going to be enough contractors to fit those opportunities, so you can really come in and probably gain some market share that nobody would even notice. The fourth thing I would do is I would make sure that I'm prepared to legal up. And what legal up means is that I'm going to get an LLC. An LLC protects your personal assets in the event that your company is sued or anything is brought against it. You're basically limiting your liability. That's why it's called a limited liability company. I'm not a lawyer or anything, so do some more research on that, but I would recommend that you get an LLC. Next thing is I would look at the insurance and see what your anticipated cost is. I own an insurance agency. We work with asphalt companies. I would be happy to help you out, review your quotes, or even give you a quote. If not, no big deal. But I will tell you that make sure you work with a company that knows how to insure contractors, because if you're getting into commercial jobs, you're going to need specific types of insurance and specific wording on your insurance policy to ensure that you can get those jobs. Because if you have a bad policy, nobody's going to want to work with you because they don't know that they're going to be covered as well if you screw up. So another thing is make sure you have a contract. A lot of contractors don't have contracts. So when you do a job, when you do a residential job, make sure you have some sort of maybe even 1-page or 2-page document outlining what you're going to do, and have the either homeowner or the commercial contractor. Commercial contractors usually have a contract for you, but the homeowner, have them sign it. Hey, I'm repaving your driveway. It's going to be $2,000. Here, sign here. We agree to this. Something real simple. If it ain't in writing, it ain't nothing. Okay? In our legal system, you have to have everything in writing. Make sure you cover yourself, you cover your tail, and get it in writing. Word of mouth, handshake deals, don't do them. Get it in writing. Okay, the fifth thing here, what everybody's waiting for, is how can you make $324,000 a year in asphalt? So I started looking at some average numbers. Obviously, numbers are going to go up and down. I was just looking at averages. Depends on where you live. National averages of a driveway repave, I mean somebody has an average size driveway, is about $2,000. So that means you could probably charge $2,000 average. Average repair for asphalt is going to be anywhere between $400 to $1,000. So that would put you, I put the average around $700 here. The average profit margin, which I'll get to in a second, is about 70%. That might be a little high, a little low, depending on where you're at, depending on how expensive it is to get your raw materials, to get your asphalt. But I put about 70% there. It's a pretty high profitable business when I was doing research, pretty profitable. This business is very weather oriented, so depending on where you live, I put an average of you're going to be able to work 30 weeks a year. I live on the northern part of the United States, so for us it may be a little bit less, but if you live in Florida, you may be able to do asphalt year-round. I don't know. So let's get into here. Okay, so how can we make $324,000 a year? Again, 30 weeks a year. If we do 4 driveway repaves or commercial lots or anything, I did 4 because some are probably going to pay more than $2,000, some are probably going to pay less, but averagely I just said let's do 4. That would produce about $8,000 a week in revenue, and that would produce about $240,000 a year in revenue just from doing 4 driveways or lots, commercial lots, repaving for 30 weeks. So really, that's pretty good money, $240,000 a year, and I'll get into profit margin here in a second. For asphalt repair, I said let's do 4 asphalt repairs a week, okay? Because those are probably pretty quick. You go out there, repair it, you're done, right? You're patching it. So that would be 4 times 700, because it costs 700 on average to do a patching or a repair. That'd be $2,800 a week that you're making from that. It's $84,000 a year. Total here is $324,000 a year in revenue. We put in the 70% profit margin, which would put you at $226,800. So we subtract out, we got to remember, everything about business is about profitability. So when you're evaluating starting a business, it's all about numbers. Get in the financial statements. In this scenario, we profited $226,800. But we have to go back, hey, we put $25,000 in, and we also paid on our loan of $1,600 a month, which is around $17,500 to $18,500 a year that we paid on our loan. So that's about $43,000 that we paid in our equipment and our loans. So that means after we take out those expenses, we end up with a gross profit margin of $184,000, about $185,000 gross profit margin. So for working 30 weeks a year, and during those 30 weeks, you're probably gonna be pretty busy, probably 5 to 7 days a week, 30 weeks a year, you get 20 weeks off and you made $324,000 a year. Profit, gross profit, $184,000. That's not bad. That's not a bad business. Everyone looks at these, everyone looks at these asphalt guys. They're working, they're out there, and it's like there is so much money in this business, and it's the dirty, boring jobs or boring businesses, that produce the most revenue. Nobody wants to go out there and get their hands dirty, so the people that do make all the money. Okay? It's not the sexy, exciting businesses in which you make all the money because there's tons of competition. There is not that much competition in asphalt. If you're an honest person and you're going to do an honest work and you're going to do it the right way, you can make so much money in this business. Just don't cut corners and you'll be successful. So asphalt paving, great business to start. If I were to give it a 1 or between 1 and 10, anything over 8 is a business I would start. I would say I would give this business probably right around an 8.2, 8.3, because this is a business you can sell down the road. If you build a book of business with clients that you're continuing to have contracts with them to redo their asphalt and stuff, I think you can make a killing in this business. You can continue to build it up. This is having one crew. Could you imagine having 2 crews? You can build this up to $1 million, $2 million, $3 million business very quickly. And I think some of the hurdles are going to be finding employees and making sure your equipment is operating perfectly. But great business to start. Look into it today. And if you want to think about starting other businesses, maybe this one isn't for you, go check out my page and like and subscribe. Thanks.